Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Today's another short flow to help strengthen the upper body. So a lot of core work in this class, and this class is more suitable to the intermediate yogi or the beginner progressing to intermediate. I've got two blocks for this class. I'm only using the blocks for one pose, and you can certainly practice that pose without blocks. So if you don't have them, don't worry. And when you're ready, let's begin. Coming over onto all fours. So we're going to keep the hips up nice and high, coming into your puppy pose, and we'll keep the arms straight for this first puppy pose. So have those hands as wide as the mat and reach them out as far in front as you can. Forehead will meet the mat, and if it doesn't meet the mat with ease, you can always use one of your blocks or a pillow underneath the forehead. So here, be sure to gently place the very tip of your tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Do your best to keep your tongue in this position for the entire class. We're starting to tone through the back of your throat for Ujjayi breath. But the jaw is relaxed. Feel the inhalation expand the upper body. And take a moment to pause at the top of the inhalation before exhaling slowly. Upper body sinking towards the mat. And follow your next inhalation out of the pose. We're going to come forward into a forearm plank. So elbows underneath the shoulders. Be sure to tuck the tailbone under and begin to round through the upper back. So Mula Bandha engaged here. A little tone around your base, around the genitals. Ladies, lift pelvic floor. So option one is here, or of course if you need to lighten the pose, you can practice one knee at a time. For a little more spice, we're going to tap down alternate knees. Try to keep the breath steady. Notice how the breath and the jaw can change when we begin to test and challenge the body. And let's come back to stillness. Begin to walk those feet in, finding your dolphin pose. And stepping those feet back, return to your forearm plank and then lower down into your Sphinx pose. Gently draw those elbows back towards the ribs. And lower down, taking a variation of your locust pose, Shalabhasana. Have the hands next to the body, and we're going to cross left leg over the right leg. Squeeze the legs together, engage Mula Bandha, and then as you inhale, float the feet and the upper body off the mat. Remember to pause before you exhale each and every time. And if you can, again before you inhale. Your next exhalation, uncross the legs, lower down, turn the head to one side. And let's come back to center. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So right leg crossing over the left leg. Tailbone tucks under, inhale to float up. And feeling the pulse of the breath move the body. Keep squeezing gently those legs together. And when you need to take rest, turn the head the other side, uncross the legs. And let's lift up. Returning to your forearms once again, lifting those hips, forearm plank, and rolling onto the outside edge of your right foot, so it's a side forearm plank. Now if you need to lighten this pose, you can place your left foot on the floor, otherwise stacking left foot on top of the right. So here is option 2. Option 3, we're going to take a little movement. You can take your left hand behind the head. Try and drag your elbow towards the foot because this is going to help switch on those oblique muscles. Now when you're ready, on an exhalation, lift the left leg, knee towards the elbow. Keep moving with your breath. Well done, let's go the other side. Option 1 again, place the right foot on the mat. Option 2, keeping both legs straight. Option 3, moving with the breath. Well done, yogis. Return to your forearm plank. Walk those feet in, coming back to your dolphin pose. And then press into the pads of the fingers and the hands as you move those hips up to your downward facing dog. And let's step those feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to fold. And reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. We'll move through Surya Namaskara A, your sun salutations, as we continue to warm the body on the inhalation, arms floating up. Exhaling to fold. Checking the placement of your tongue. Inhale halfway. And then with this exhalation, bowing down, left leg back, low lunge. Bring the arms up. And exhale, hands down. High lunge and step it back into your plank. Option 1, knees to the mat. Option 2, will chaturanga down. Be sure to round the upper back. Bring the body forward. Try and squeeze your elbows in towards one another as you come all the way down to the mat. Inhale, gently pulling those hands back. And exhale to lower. Let's move via the knees, return to plank and round out the back before your downward facing dog. Left leg up. Try to keep your right leg straight as you send your left leg forward. Right knee down to the mat, inhale. And exhale. Stepping right foot up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. And reverse swan dive. So we'll practice that one more time. Right leg this time. An option to take your upward facing dog. Half lift as you inhale, and as you exhale, folding right leg back. So here, try to pull your right knee forward and your left heel back. Just for a little more stability, support around the low back. Stepping back, inhale. Exhale to lower, either all the way down to the mat for your baby cobra or hover an inch above the mat, then roll over the toes, find your upward facing dog. Make sure your legs aren't on the floor if you're in your up dog. Return to plank and your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Look forward, step through. And left leg up. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive. And hands to the heart. Let's transition our weight into the right foot. Lift the left knee. And then tilt the body forward, warrior 3. Left toes pointing down. Inhale and exhale, warrior 2. Ground the left foot. Make sure your right heel is intercepting the arch on your left foot. And in this position, we're going to press the feet down and away from one another. Let's inhale, reverse our warrior. Keep that strong bend in the right knee. And as you exhale, bring the elbow down to the knee for your side angle pose. Sweep the left arm down and overhead. Option to take a mudra through your right hand. Looking back if the neck permits. Staying here only as you inhale, pressing into both feet. And then exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Side angle pose. Exhale, warrior two. Last round. Holding your side angle pose now. Option here to pick up the heel and try and push the thigh into the arm and the arm into the thigh. That's going to help switch on your psoas muscle. Little tuck of the tailbone. Try and gently turn towards the ceiling. Breathe into the side body. Inhale. And as you exhale, lower both hands down, frame the right foot. Option one, you can stay as you are, or for a little more core strength, we'll move into our fallen triangle. So, pick up the right foot, roll to the outside edge of your left foot, and straighten your right leg. Well done. Return to plank. Take your flow. Either baby cobra or your upward facing dog. And from here, let's step to the top of the mat. Inhale and exhale. Reverse swan dive. Hands to the heart. Transitioning the weight now into the left foot, lift up the right knee. Warrior three. Warrior two. Make sure you can see your big toe on the inside of that knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last flow. Staying in your side angle pose now. Option to lift up that left knee, create a little bit of resistance between the left arm and leg. Well done. Lower that heel down. Let's frame that left foot. Option one is here. Option two, pick up that left leg, roll to the outside of your right foot, and straighten your left leg, fallen triangle. So here, pressing into the pads of the left fingers. You might even feel the middle part of the palm lift a little. And return to your plank. Let's take your flow. And holding this downward facing dog, be sure to press into the pads of the fingers. Try and squeeze the heels of the palms in towards one another. From here, let's take a wide-legged child's pose. And we'll bring those hands a little closer together and then take them into prayer above the head. Steady your breath. Let's lift the head, take the arms out in front now, keep the palms lifted and just start to press the pads of the fingers into the mat. just a little bit of wrist therapy. Then you can return the forehead down. Continue with those little pulses through the fingertips. And let's lift up and return to tabletop. Hands under shoulders, fingers spread wide, or curl those toes under. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale to round, and take those hips up and back. Return to your downward facing dog. And let's take 3 lion's breaths here in your downward facing dog. So you'll inhale through the nose, then as you exhale through the mouth, stick out the tongue, eyes wide, and engage Mula Bandha. Let's do 2 more. Well done, yogis. Right leg up, inhale. Step forward, low lunge. Option 1, bring the arms up. Option 2 will interlace those hands behind the lower back, but don't rest the hands on the bottom. Just hover them a few inches away. So here, try and pull your right heel back and drag your left knee forward. From here, we're going to take the hips back, and if you need to, just lift up that left knee a little. Hips moving back, half pyramid pose. We'll point those right toes to the ceiling, keeping the left toes curled under, getting a nice stretch through the sole of the foot as well. Here, try and drag the right heel back and make sure you've engaged the quad, you're drawing up the kneecap. And let's test our balance now, bending in that right knee, coming into standing splits. If you can, keep the fingers interlaced. Knuckles point to the ceiling, pressing through the ball of the left foot. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's change sides, left leg. Step through, low lunge. Moving hips back for half pyramid pose. You might even need to bring that left heel back a little with you. And let's transition into our standing splits. Fix your drishti. Well done, yogis. Downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, knees to the mat. Let's take those feet out from underneath us. Bring the legs around in front. From here, we'll bend the right knee, coming into head to knee pose, placing your right foot against the left thigh. And to help with your stability here, gently push the foot into the thigh, thigh into the foot, and a little squeeze behind that knee. Left foot is flexed as well. Let's inhale, arms up, turn the body just a little to the left, and as you exhale, folding forward. And inhale to come back up. Exhaling down. This third time we'll stay down, taking a hold of the leg or the foot if you can reach. If you do have the foot, push the foot into the hands, pull the hands into the foot. Drishti can either be your big toe or your knee. And gently deepen your forward bend here by deepening your breath in the back side of the body. And let's inhale to come all the way back up. Exhale, hands down, and we'll lift up this right knee. So coming into an open twist, cross the right leg over your left leg. Right buttock will lift up off the mat. Just your left leg is resting on the floor. Push your right arm into the leg, a little bit of resistance there, and look over your left shoulder. Option one is as you are. If you'd like an arm balance, we'll practice our baby grasshopper. Turn those right toes forward. Bring your left hand under the shoulder and then just move it out just about an inch or so. Your right arm is on the inside of that right shin and you're going to take a hold of the left foot. Now it's really important here that you push the foot into the hand, pull the hand into the foot, because without that little lock, that little bandha, this left leg is going to be a dead weight. So find that push-pull. Your left hand, we want to create that bandha around the wrist. So you want to push the pads of the fingers into the mat. Maybe the middle part of the palm will lift a little, just like a suction cup. And then try and turn the heel of the palm in a little. That way you're going to create a little more support around that elbow as well as the wrist. So when you're ready, bandha on here, and mula bandha as well. Let's look forward just in front of your mat, lean forward and lift up your left leg. Keep breathing and keep the jaw relaxed. Lower down when you're ready. Let's return to center. Uncross this right leg. Brief moment in Dandasana, active through the legs. Bring the hands to prayer. Let's point the fingers down and then up. Just a little wrist therapy. And let's practice that on the other side now. Bend your left leg. So again, little pressure between the foot and the thigh. A little squeeze behind your left knee. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling up and exhaling down. And staying down now, taking a hold of the foot or the leg. Breathing into the back. And let's inhale to come up. Exhaling, hands down, lifting up this left knee now, crossing the leg over, finding that open twist, sitting on the right leg only. And then either staying here or turning those left toes forward. Bring the right hand under the shoulder and then just out about an inch. Remember to press into the pads of the fingers, turn the heel of the palm in. Push-pull between the left hand and right foot. So when you're ready, lean forward and lift up. And let's release. Well done, yogis. So from here, I'm going to take a hold of the two blocks, but if you don't have two blocks, that's fine. If you've only got one block, place one block in between your thighs, and the other block is going in between your feet. So we're going to squeeze the thighs and feet in on the block. Coming into your boat pose, leaning back and lifting up. Checking the position of your tongue. A little stronger here if you want to straighten the legs. And let's lower down. Moving your blocks to the side, coming into a wide-legged position. Always the option to elevate those hips if you need to. And just a little more wrist therapy here. Let's interlace those fingers, take a circular motion. Or of course, if you prefer, hands to prayer and lowering fingers down and up. So taking longer with your wrist therapy if you need to. Otherwise, you have the option to stay upright, or if you've got that range of motion to fold forward, you can hinge from the hips, gently lower down. So we will keep a little tone here through the legs. It's not a yin pose today. Toes pointing to the ceiling, engaging those quads, pulling up those knees. And then when you're ready, let's walk those hands back. You can use the hands to help those legs come back together. Give them a little squeeze. And then we'll move into your downward facing dog once again. So only 2 more to go. So when you're ready, hips up and back. Really only here as a transition. We're going to pivot the feet and bring your right hip down onto the mat, coming into a laying chest opener. So at most, you'll take this right arm out to the side and you're creating a right angle. Make sure the elbow's in line with the shoulder. And left fingertips can stay on the mat, or you can take your mudra and take the back of the palm to the low back. Now, if this is too intense, bring your left palm around and use it as a pillow instead, or take your right hand higher. And let's lift up into your last downward facing dog. And let's pivot the feet now. Bring your left hip down onto the mat, coming into your variation of your laying chest opener. And from here, let's push ourselves up to seated and rolling over onto your back. So crossing the right leg over the left leg, lifting up the feet, squeezing the thighs together and imprinting your lower back on the mat, either staying there or lifting the upper body for your last bit of core today. Keep squeezing the thighs together. And lower down. Twisting hips over to the right. Move the back of the head to the right and then turning to the left. Observing the breath, moving the body. Let's inhale back to center. Changing sides now, move the hips a little to the right, crossing right leg over, pressing those thighs together, imprinting your lower back. Option to lift the upper body up. As we squeeze and wring out any last bit of tension from your body. And let's lower, finding your twist. And let's inhale back to center. Moving into Shavasana now. I'm going to use the 2 blocks, one under each thigh. Of course, that's just an option. If you don't have blocks, then don't worry. Shoulders tucking under. Feel free to find your mudra once again. Closing the eyes down. Softening the forehead, the tongue and jaw. And taking the next minute to just be. Let's inhale a little deeper now. Begin to swallow if the mouth is dry. Wiggle toes and fingers. And follow any urges to move or stretch. When you're ready, rolling to your preferred side. Before pushing up to seated. Thanks yogis for practicing with me today. I hope that you enjoyed that class. Please do feel free to make class requests if there's a pose or a particular part of the body that you want to work on. Just add those requests in the comments below. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. Not just my channel, but any yoga teacher that you watch on a regular basis. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Wishing you a lovely day.